Good morning! Hi everyone. Just adjust my screen a bit. No idea where I'm looking. Cheers! Grab your popcorn. The show's about to begin. That's right, Joe. The show. I am in the house, Andy Calloway. Well, in the office, which is in the house. Sure. Okay. We've got lots to do today. We really have lots to do. Now, just letting you all know, I am printing in the background. But I put my printer on stealth mode. That's why I started really right on the edge of start time. I was just switching the printer over. I've got stacks of Reflow Master cases to print. I can't ship orders until I printed cases. And I've still just got the one printer. And every time this happens, I say to myself, I'm going to buy a second printer. And then I never do. And then I fall back into the same situation again. But it's on stealth mode, so hopefully it won't be too loud. And if it is, I can pause it. But, oh well, got to do what you got to do. Hello, Simple Electronics. Okay, let's do a quick roll call. And then we're going to get smacked straight into it. Verbal diarrhea coming out today. Rat Madness, good morning. Embedded Hobbyist. Hello. Bredan, hi. Monster Mark. Henrik. JTax, hello. Adam Bryant. David SR. Andy Calloway. Paul. Hello, Chris. How's it going? It's going good. Going good. It's going. Mr. Who, 30. Yes. Michael, hello. Ploughing down. Hunkering down, getting ready. Hey. Hello, Sven. Good day to you. Andy Mouse, hello. Johnny, hi. Michael's got an accent? What? Hello, Jerker. Hello, Crazy Roops. Session 240, yes, USB-C on assembly. It is plus more. Plus more. Wait, don't send any money. We'll bill you. Hello, Amelia. Hey, Graham. Hey, Joe. Hi, David. Hi, Gary. Hey, Adrian. What? JTax has got a spinal cord injury? What happened? What's going on? Hey, Patrick. Hey, Gustus. It is Tuesday. Hey, Ian Scott Johnson. And Brad Anderson. Hello. And Torsten. Bruce is here. Kuka 373. 373, yeah, okay. I can read numbers. Electronic Smoke UK. Hi. I'm sure I've missed people now. Flowrider 65. Okay, I think I got everyone. No, MJT Epic Trio. Hello. Hope you guys are well. Hope the family's well. You get a free set of steak knives. Yes, free set of steak knives with every Reflow Master. I really can't talk today. Really can't talk. Okay, so a surgery went wrong when I was 12 years old. Oh no, fell out of a wheelchair 2 weeks ago. Sorry to hear, mate. Hello, Sylvia. Hey, Paul. Notice how Sylvia gets a hello before Paul gets a hello. Hello, Wagon Loads. X-Micron. Dave Hines, hi. Hey, James. Yeah, I hope you all had a fantastic festivities. Hello, Peter S. Ezzy, hello. I've not been amazing. I've just been Sion. That's about as good as I get these days. Hello, Peter. Only one 3D printer. I have 2 now. I'm jealous. Hey, Shaq. Shaq is in the house. Hey, Shivraj. My coffee's not going to last very long this morning, let me tell you. I've been Sion, yeah. Not the good Sion, the bad Sion. Hello, Julian. How are you? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you all, and Merry Festivus to you all, for those that don't celebrate Christmas. Adam's got 3 3D printed, but only 1 works. Yeah, I think that counts as 1. Big empty space behind me. I've been tidying. Not quite. There's a... yeah. Yeah, the garage has been getting a bit of a further... what do I call it? Mini reno. I put some shelves in. Not what I really want, but just temporary. I have so many reels everywhere. I need to really organise what I'm doing with my reels. So, do you remember the time of flight sensors I was playing with? I actually ordered 10 of these. The LX, the 1X versions, and from LCSC, and they never arrived. They didn't come in the order. Had a bit of a discussion with them. They said they did. They take a photo of everything before it gets packaged, and it was definitely there, but I don't know, maybe I accidentally threw it out. Maybe it was stuck to one of the plastic bags or some of the wrapping, you know, the padding, and it got thrown out because I didn't notice it. You know, just would have been 10 little things in a bag. Really expensive mistake, let me tell you, because they were like $6 each US. And I was really pissed about it, and so like nothing I could do. I mean, I didn't get my money back. It is what it is. But it is out of control in my garage right now with the amount of reels. I had 30-something reels came in the other day. I've got another 20-something coming that's shipping today. Last week, stacks of reels. So Helmet says I really need to get organised. So I ordered a bunch more yesterday, but the 0x ones, the cheaper ones, because I don't need the fidelity, I don't think. I'm going to play around with putting a PCB together for a reel rack. It's seriously out of control in there. Yeah, Julian, I'm normally in bed asleep by 10:30 or 11 o'clock on New Year's Eve. It's so overrated. Thanks for the package. Jay posted the job almost 2 weeks before Christmas. Fantastic. That is really great that it got to you so quickly. It's hit and miss with Australia Post at the moment because they're slammed. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad I got the nothing to celebrate 2021. You know what? We've all been waiting for so long for 2020 to end, and it's like, yes, just get rid of this shit-ass year and let's move on. 2021 is going to be no different, folks. Sorry, I'm not trying to be a doomsayer, but it's not. Nothing's going to change. It's going to be at least 6 months before things maybe turn around. Hey, Tabletronics. So, yeah. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? Anyway, so I've got more of those coming. What can I tell you all? I want to get news updated out the way. I think we should just go straight to 2022. Yeah. So Reflow Masters are back in stock. Stacks of people were annoyed that I ran out so quickly. Yeah, and now as I said, I'm printing in the background, so I'm sorry if that sound annoys anyone. My whoppers are back in stock finally. I don't know how many I've got left though. And okay, just quickly, I'll show you some stuff, and then we'll get into the main event. How? Okay. Now I've got a new camera set up. So same camera, but a new setup in the garage, but it's video only. And so I dug out my wireless lapel mic. So I do actually have a fairly decent, it's not a Rode, but fairly decent wireless lapel mic. It's pretty good quality. But unfortunately, my iMac doesn't do audio in from a 3.5mm jack anymore. It's only for headphones, and so I need to get a 3.5mm to USB adapter so I can do USB capture of audio. So I could have done a bit of a look-see around the garage today, but I can't now. But I've got, it's still only 720p, but it's better. It's higher frame rate video capture in there. So I'll be able to, yeah, do some more garage stuff. I'm looking forward to doing that. A 3 splitter to mic and headphones will work. No, it's definitely only an output on that. It has to go in via USB. Yeah, I've done some research on that. Hey Emery, and hi to anyone that I haven't said hi to that popped in while I was chatting. Assisting the opening credits of the TV show The Prisoner. God, that was a long time ago. I don't remember it. So my new Reflow Masters, well not new, they're the same. I've now they used to come 2x2 on panels. I used to hand assemble, right, or hybrid. I've now made bigger panels, and they go through the pick and place machine. Yay! And so I pick and placed 2 sets of these yesterday. Everything except for the QR fans, and the thermocouple ICs, because I don't have enough of them to stick them on a reel. Yeah. So I'm starting to make larger panels now of all of my products that I can pick and place, which is cool. And speaking of larger panels, what I missed? Did you change rules for posting URLs? I don't know. Haven't changed anything. Sometimes YouTube lets you post, and sometimes it doesn't. Moderators can. Hey, Jean-Marc. And I've also got my panels of my new Play Shield, which we won't even talk about JLC PCB today. So this is going to be interesting, the way I've attached them. Which way can I go? So you can see clearly. So they've only got mouse bites on the sides, holding them in, right? There's nothing joining the middle, and they go into the pick and place machine this way. So flexing could be interesting. They're 1.6 millimeter, so they could be okay. Be interesting to see how they pick and place. I didn't want to do 4 up. Well, actually, I can't do. Sorry, not 4 up. I didn't want 6. I can't do 6 in Eagle. Hey Clem, because I'm using the standard version of Eagle, and it's bigger than the space I'm allowed to use. We can expect you to buy a wave soldering machine. I don't think I ever will. None of the through-hole stuff I need to solder is really ideal for a wave soldering machine, because they're not uniform. I'd have to change layout for a lot of my boards to utilize a wave soldering machine. The thing with a wave soldering machine is that you want the solder joints to be linear when they go through, as much as possible anyway, and I don't design my boards that way. So I'm still hand soldering. Yeah, I can't see myself doing that. I'd be investing in a fully automatic stenciling system before I look at wave soldering. So anyway, the only thing I'm missing for the Play Shields are screens. I will hopefully have an order of screens shipped out to me next week. Clem is famous. Why is Clem famous? Well, other than being on Element 14 Presents. If you have live chat selected, user links will show. Interesting. I didn't know that, Peter. Auto stencil would be awesome to see. Yeah, tell me about it. It'd be awesome to have. So I've actually thought about, okay, I'm just going to change cameras to this guy. So moving camera, warning, moving camera, moving. So this is the length, this is my office, right? And through the garage is my pick and place machine. I'm actually thinking about, because I'm out of space in the garage. I don't have any more length, so I can't increase the length of my line. I can fit a conveyor at the front of the pick and place machine, but it doesn't help me because I can't put anything in front of the conveyor. I'm actually thinking about in 2021, as in like from tomorrow or 2 days onwards, trying to hold this. Hang on, let me see if I can put this down and have it not moving with the. Hang on. Okay, I'm actually thinking of knocking that wall out, and then so the floor in here is raised compared to the garage. It's about that high. So it's yellow tongue and then carpet on top of concrete. I'm actually thinking of knocking the wall out, cutting into the ground, into the floor, and extending like 2 or 3 meters, so I can increase my line in here and fully automate the line, like automated stencil all the way into the pick and place, all the way into the oven. Yeah, the wall. Hey, Alan. I'm actually thinking about it. I really am. Let me tell you. Yeah. So I had that all set up, ready to go for building. I'll fix that again later. So I'm thinking of doing that, but tear down the wall. I'm not doing it now. I love my wall. Hey, Michael. Make the conveyor so it gets through the door inside your room. Yeah, you can't. I haven't seen a production line that can turn like that, like with an S-bend. A CNC machines or laser printers. Laser printers good enough. CNC machines are good enough if you just want basic 2-layer board, like a single-sided board, or you can do double-sided, but it's a bit fiddly. But you can't do super fine pitch. There are machines out there that can do it, but on a general CNC, yeah, your mileage will vary. But just to pass through with the conveyor through, yeah. But if I'm going to knock a hole, the problem is height. So the floor here is too high, so I need everything the same height. So putting a hole in the wall just for the conveyor to go through and having the stenciling machine in here, I mean, I could do that, but if I'm going to knock a hole through the wall, I might as well knock the wall down. Anyway, okay, just a crazy thought. So I'm thinking a dough roller, then pin and plate for topping a roof-loaded bake. Yeah, bottling stuff, absolutely. Yeah, but they're kind of different because you can get curved roller things, but it's not roller things that I want, like a conveyor. Anyway, yeah. Have to pull the floor up as well. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to have to cut into the floor. I'll have to cut like 2 meters by the width of the wall out of the floor, and just to reveal the concrete again, which means I lose that whole desk space and everything else. Like it'll be a complete rearrange. Yeah, I know there are different types of ways of turning. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm saying I've never seen a pick and place line, like a fully automated pick and place line that has bends in it. And that's because generally that they have the space to do a straight line, and I don't. But a bend won't help me because I don't have any space at all, even to bend it. Anyway, you elevate, lower the boards easily enough. Possibly, but if I'm knocking the wall down, I might as well cut the floor out. Like it's cutting the floor is the least of my worries, really. Extend the garage the other direction. Extending the garage would require probably town planning permits and stuff. I don't know, and much more expensive. Anyway, so TinyPICO USB-C. Let's do it, shall we? Let's do it. I can't do the length of the house. I can't block the windows. Okay, let me just switch cameras. Okay, got a lot to do. Hello, Ken. As long as you don't find any surprises in the process of pulling the wall and floor. No, I put this wall and floor in. I renovated this when I moved my game company into here. When I moved out of my offices. When I downsized my game company. Way back. This is all renovated by me, so I know where everything is. I know what everything is. So, This is my TinyPICO that supports USB-C. Is it going to focus? Yes. So if I... Okay, where's my other board? Where did I put it? Here is a bad board. And the reason this is a bad board, it's more light, is because I've had really hit and miss results with JLC PCB recently. And if you look here, it's missing a whole bunch of solder mask on these pins. So I can't ship it. So I get random boards like this when I'm assembling that I don't notice on the panel at the time. Like it looks really big, but like when you got a panel of 15 of them, you just don't notice stuff like this. So yeah, I can't ship this board because of that. But anyway, so these are the two boards, as you would see on the thumbnail, and this one's obviously longer because the USB-C connection is considerably bigger than the micro B connector. Sorry, I sliced my finger open. I have sliced, I sliced my thumb 2 days ago, sliced my finger open yesterday, and I wonder if you can see this. Which camera can I use? I'm not going to put it under. My knee, I stuck, not this one, you know the big ones, the big Stanley knives, like the thicker blades? I stuck the whole corner of the blade into my kneecap the other day. It was full on. It was stuck in my kneecap, and I looked down and went, what the? I pulled it out, and it was yeah. Me and knives, not going too well at the moment. So as you can, see if I can't do this. I need that finger. I'll have to take the band-aid off. It's got a band-aid because I've got disinfectant stuff inside there. You might be able to see, oops, because I don't want it to get infected because of where the cut was. So as you can see, the USB-C connector is quite large comparatively, so I had to elongate the board to support it. It's iodine. It's can't remember the name of what it is, but yeah. Got a big slice in my knee. Yeah, it's pretty full on, but it was right on the kneecap. Which is interesting. So that stopped the blade from going, like the blade was in like, you know, almost 7 millimeters or so. And the only thing that really stopped it was it hit the bone on my kneecap. What did you say? I had blood pouring down my knee as I walked in. And I said, look what I did. I stabbed myself with a Stanley knife. And I think she gave me the, you're an idiot look. Something like that. I think it was. So yeah, 3 pretty full-on stab. That was a good one. That was straight in, like on an angle, you know, a V going into that. Anyway, no stitches. No, that's my 3D printer in the background, but it's in stealth modes. Oops, whoa, wrong one. Whoa, so hopefully it won't be too bad with the noise, but I need to print stuff. Sorry, I didn't mean to make everyone sick. Where do I buy my USB-C connectors? From LCSC. And I buy them in lots of reels at a time. That's not a knife. Yeah, I'm glad it was a small knife. So, I'm going to assemble one of these, but what I also need to do, actually, is... So, I need to let you know. So, I'm going to assemble one of these boards, but I can't test them on my TinyPICO test jig, because... the test jig is designed to fit one of these, and the acrylic guide comes to here, and so this board's too long. So I still haven't built new test jigs for my TinyPICOs. I'm still using my old test jigs because I just haven't had time. And I bought these ages ago. 6th of 11th they were delivered. These are my adapters for my TinyPICOs for my new test jigs. And I actually have a new test jig sitting here ready to go on a Pi, but I stole the Pi for my vision experiments. Anyway, I need to build one of these today as well, which is my TinyPICO adapter board, which will I'll just, I mean, that'll fit, and I'll have to hold it on to test it. So I need to put pogos on one of those as well today. And yeah, see what else we get done. There's a whole bunch of pogos ready to go. So about the noise, about the printing. That's supposed to be silent mode, by the way. Had a chisel take open my knee to the cap for a couple of inches when it fell. Yeah, I was really lucky that it hit the kneecap. Hey Dustin. So, okay, let's start this. I do have I've already set up a board with the stencil, so you don't have to watch me do that, because that's boring. I might turn off autofocus on the camera. I should have moved the printer away. Okay, autofocus is turned off. So I have a board here ready to go. As you can see, just here. So I'm going to paste that up. We're going to assemble the board. We're going to test it. No, we're going to assemble the board, then we're going to solder some pogos, and then we're going to test it. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Still haven't looked into any music. So I've got some exciting news. So hey everyone, look at the paste I use. Okay, that's too bright. Just as a joke. Yeah, this is the paste I use. Everyone, seen it before. So I've ordered some new paste. It's brand new. The only place I can get it from is ChipQuick. I could even be the first person ever ordering it. I found it by fluke. They are now doing thermally stable solder paste, low temp, but water-based flux, water-based no clean, instead of the standard no clean. So the problem with standard no clean is you can't ultrasonically clean it with water-based cleaner. It's got to be a chemical-based cleaner, which is dangerous, like abrasive. Can't go down it's the way it needs to be disposed. You got to be careful. You got to wear gloves. It's not good for you, right? What's the paste I use? I can't remember. Oh, this one. That's right. So they have a new thermally stable and non-thermally stable water-based low temp T4 solder paste. I'm so excited. So I bought a jar, the 500 gram jar, but it's got to come from ChipQuick, and regardless of what it cost me for the jar, it's cost me $59 US just to ship it to me, which is ridiculous. It's like a $200 jar of paste. But I'm really excited to move to it because it's going to mean that it's going to be much quicker for me to ultrasonically clean my boards. And that will mean now that my high temp and my low temp paste is water-based flux, which is so much nicer to work with. And even like with reworking and stuff, I've got water-based. So yeah, and it's good timing because I'm almost out of paste, and so yeah, that's why I did DHL. But whoa, it's so expensive. Crash course, is that for pilots? What? Who? What? Where? What? What have I missed? Hey Gerard. You hear that from me? Do you store your paste in the fridge? No, I don't have to. It's thermally stable. Thermally stable means it does not have to be stored in the fridge. It can just be stored out. It doesn't have as long a shelf life as a one that gets stored in the fridge. But I go through a lot of paste. I go through an insane amount of paste. So yeah, I run out all the time. Yeah, so what's great about thermally stable is you don't have to worry about taking it out, letting it warm up before you use it, getting the temperature right and everything. I mean, you want it to be in a climate-controlled environment. You can't, it's not good for it to be left out, like thermally stable to be left out in a really hot, humid environment, or in a freezing environment. But if you've got, if you're in an office area where it's regulated air, thermally stable is the way to go. You never have to worry about. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to work on something and forgotten to take the paste out. And then suddenly 45 minutes later I'm still waiting for the paste to be ready. Especially if it's a cold morning in winter or something. Do you know about the Solar Challenge through Australia? The Solar Challenge? No. What's Solar Challenge? I don't know what the Solar Challenge is. Okay, getting this off is going to be a pain. These components go right to the edge. Come on. Okay. Let go of the stencil. There we go. Okay, I'll clean that later. If I remember. Hey Jaden. Okay, let's see if we can get the camera closer so everyone can see what I'm doing. Once again, sorry about the 3D printer. I am going to probably use my microscope. Can't easily see the chat right now. Let me move that. 3D printer's not too bad? Okay, great. Hello, Frank. Good morning. Okay. So, how's that? Can everyone see? Hopefully you can see well enough. I know I'm out of picture up top. Create the learning from the Rooflow Master and create a temp humidity controller for a cabinet housing 3D printer spools. Sure. I mean, you don't... Yeah, I mean, that's... Well, the problem is how would you control it? The actual... Like, controlling the temperature maybe, but how would you control the humidity? I mean, I'm sure there's stuff out there that you can do that with, but I don't know what those things are. Ooh, okay. Definitely not enough paste on that pad. I'm going to just be a naughty boy and move some paste over. There we go. Okay, let's do this in no particular order because I've already got some parts out. So I'm just going to put some parts on. Hit the big ones. Actually, I might... No, maybe I won't. Okay, let's do... I didn't really plan myself very well on this. So by the way, I've got a whole bunch of reels of 0201 like jelly bean components, 10k, 100k resistors, 0.1 microfarad, 1 microfarad caps, etc., etc., that I'm busting to start playing with. I don't know what I'd put them on though yet, but like design wise, but yeah, like I'm really wanting to see what the N8 can do in terms of 0201. I just don't know what it's going to be on. Maybe a redesigned Nano. I don't know if it's worthwhile doing that or not. It's a solar car race. Best new tech in solar. Yeah, they've done stuff like that before, haven't they? Doesn't sound overly new. Okay, I have to grab some components also from my shelf. I don't think I've got any 2.2 microfarad caps there. 2. Wow. Okay, you didn't say it was new. Yeah, okay, sorry. I wasn't implying that, yeah. I know, I'm just saying it sounds familiar. Now, I don't even remember what order some of these components are. I'm sure that's 3.3 and I miss the good old days of building tiny Picos by hand. They used to be so much fun. My hand is 100 times steadier now. I remember I used to sweat beforehand. I used to get really nervous when I was building tiny Picos. These are just 100k resistors. 10k over here. APA. Pretty sure the APA goes that way. Okay, I need some MOSFETs. Little MOSFETs. Hey Kyle. I often regret using such small MOSFETs. In terms of specs they're good, but in terms of package quality from the supplier, quite often get them with slightly bent pins, which is very, very frustrating, let me tell you. Now, I took the opportunity on this board to also refine some of my footprints, my components, to tighten up the footprints. So it'd be interesting to see how they reflow. Farad caps. Actually, I'll put the shotkeys on first. It's the motors, the belts, the what, the word. Hello everyone. Hey Ray. Dual package. Yeah, I can't use dual packages on these. Well, I could, but be quite difficult in terms of they're on opposite ends of the boards, and quite often it's hard to find a dual package in a small package that has good specs, like a really low RDS on and stuff. So here's my 2 shotkeys. Okay, getting close. Need my, so this is a twin NPN that I use. This is for the auto reset circuit. This is a SOT 363 package. which, you know, I can get smaller still, but I don't have to worry so much about the tolerances. Hey Samuel, don't have to worry, and hey Kevin, don't have to worry so much about the tolerances on the transistors, like as long as they're biased correctly. But it's a little bit different with the FETs. Well, the FET I'm using for the high side switch for the APA, really, the APA doesn't draw a lot of power, so that one doesn't have to be anything good. But the one that switching VBAT off the 5 volts, you know, I don't want to be making a low power board, but also doesn't give decent battery because it's got a shit MOSFET there. So yeah, it's all about where they need to be placed. I'm sure I could have rearranged things to do it, but okay, so I just need to check which order I did these, where my 5.1Ks are. It's like music now. I've got music in here. Okay, so 5.1 and ground that way. Okay. So 5.1s are in the middle. And you know, as much as I want to play with 0201, like, it doesn't make a lot of production sense using 0201 on anything. Like, sure, I can make something smaller, but what do I need smaller for, really? I feel like going smaller for the sake of smaller is kind of, what's the point? Like, it increases production risk, potential risk. You know, and like something like the TinyPICO, the space I'm limited to is because of the header space. What's the link to the Turntable 3D files? There isn't a link to the Turntable 3D files. These ones I've not released because this is not something that's easily made by anyone. As you can see, it's still held together by tape, and my new version is only half done still. Sorry. It's on my list, like everything else, to one day actually finish. Just don't hold your breath, because, you know, I'm clearly struggling finishing stuff at the moment. To make more features, but what more features do we need on the TinyPICO, honestly? Just need to check which order the voltage divider is. I'm pretty sure that's 442. It is. Oh, I hope I do. Okay, almost there. Like, what other features do we need on a TinyPICO? What's a 3D printer? It's a Prusa Mark III's. Okay. So, Pico D4, antenna, and USB connector, and we're done. Yay. Here's the antenna. This is using a new footprint for the antenna. Hopefully that'll work better. And the USB. I've actually got a slightly newer USB footprint than is on this. My new, got new Feather S2 boards coming. Bit of a new footprint. Just a paste for the paste. Okay, so that board is done. I need to put it in the oven. I'm going to need a carrier board for it to sit on. See if I can find my old green carrier boards somewhere. They're under here somewhere. Okay, and I'm going to do this in my toaster oven. Okay. Except I forgot, I need to move the rack. Just bear with me a second, I'm not really organised, as I said. Oven on. Oven on, everything on. Yes. Okay, well, fingers crossed that works. Okay, put that away. And now my coffee's gone cold. TinyPICO board design. Hi David, Pendry. What is it? TinyPICO. Yes, look at tinypico.com. TinyPICO is still, I believe, the world's smallest ESP32 development board. Okay, lukewarm coffee. Oh, almost spilt it. Wow. Okay, so we should look now at some pogos. Give a shot of the 3D printer. There's the 3D printer and my messy desk. Is that to me, Mr. Who 30? My web design is great. No, not really. Warning, moving camera. Yep. Maybe I could just angle a bit more so you can kind of see it moving. There you go, you can see that the base moving. Vomit cam. Oh, that was pretty slow movement. So, okay. Yep, that's reflowing. That's pretty good. Okay. So, I need to be able to test it. So, no, I don't need this many, but I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stack them. I don't really know how high. I don't even know what pogos I'm using. Let me get the right pogos out first. Could be these ones. No worries, Shaq. Tiny femto. Now someone's already making a femto-y size ESP. I don't want to make smaller, there's no point. So ESP32s run too hot. Going smaller doesn't make any sense. It just introduces way too many problems. TinyPICO is as small as I really want to go. That's interesting. Why don't these fit? They're the wrong pogos. So many different types of pogos. Maybe it's these. Don't say we need to put a heatsink on. Well, yeah, depending on what you do with them. No, you don't want to stick a heatsink on it, but still. Okay, these ones, maybe... I need to take this band-aid off. That's really frustrating. Okay, I've got the right ones. Hope I've got enough of them. Taking the band-aid off. It's too hard to work. Oh, yellow finger. It's just iodine. No panic. Okay, that's almost done. So, the plan is, or the way I do this now, is I tape them. I can pick them up. I tape them together, I stick them in, and then I solder them from the top. So I need to see how high I want this. Is the TinyPICO breadboard compatible? Is it breadboard compatible? Absolutely, it is. So, breadboard compatible. Look at all the extra space you've got. 3 pins on one side, 2 pins on another side, on a standard size breadboard. Okay. Yes, that was one of the things, you know, when you get stuff like this as a ESP32 board and you put that in a breadboard and you have no place to stick any pins, any DuPont wires. So yes, it is very breadboard friendly. Okay, I need sticky tape. Is James Sharman's computer breadboard friendly? Beep, beep. Okay, reflow is done, but I need it to cool down. Will that fit in the middle? Oh, no, it won't. Okay, so this might be hard to get straight. Got to be straight, or the pins will be on an angle. I'll do my best. Oh, can't even see what I'm doing. And I'm going to tape it this way. Right. 8051 is breadboard friendly. So that's not very straight. So I need to get this straight. Or straight enough anyway. It's gonna be too long. You should see my EIOT board, specifically made for a breadboard, and it is egg-shaped. Put 2 pins in it first. Putting the pins in won't help because they'll just move. They'll just taper. The pins won't hold it straight. Trust me, I know. Scissors might be still too much. No, actually, it's not bad. Okay, I did a few with my other ones, and the pogos, because they're thin enough to fit in the holes, they can still skew. So, like you can see here, oh, let me get in closer. You might be able to see the pogo's moving, right? There's enough give on the pogo that you can't really use them to keep it straight. So, okay. Move this over. I'm gonna have to, yeah, that's a bad idea because I have to solder it over there. That's okay, I'll put them all in first. I'll put them all on here and then I'll move it over. You need a breadboard with an adjustable width center channel. I don't know if you can even get that, can you? Like you'll see in a moment, or hopefully, like these are already on an angle. Just by doing this, they're shifting. And I probably could have stuck to my finger. I probably could have used slightly smaller holes, but you know, getting the exact right hole, and then trusting that your PCB house will actually drill the right size hole. Yeah, the tolerances I find with drill sizes and routing, at least from JLC PCB, never reliable. Isn't this fun? Almost there. I'm not sure how I'm going to taper them, keep them straight when I'm soldering. But they'll end up all kind of be pointing the same direction, probably. Okay, we'll move it over to here. I probably want something underneath it. Okay, I'm actually using, so I'm just going to switch cameras now. I'm using the TinyPICO panel, so I can, how close can I get closer? Sorry about the mess. You might be able to see if I go this way. There's a slight shifting, tapering, right? But at least now, I can kind of hold it maybe still and straight. So let's get the board and have a look. See if it reflowed okay. Let's quickly come back here. So there's the board. I've not even looked. Looks okay, I think. Can't see any bridges. We have a quick squiz under the microscope. I think the thermal mass of that board it was sitting on with a bit too much heat. I should have put it on a smaller board. I'm going to put this on a small board and reflow it again. I shouldn't have used such a big board. Back in a moment. Yeah, that looked way too much heat. second, folks. Okay. When you program the bootloader in the there is no bootloader on a TinyPICO. On ESP32s don't use bootloaders like that. You flash them directly. Does Eagle do curved, or you can do whatever routes you want. Like Eagle doesn't do RF. Like, it's up to you how you design your traces. Are you doing a castellated version of the USB-C TinyPICO? No. My castellated version of the TinyPICO is my Nano. No, not doing castellations on the USB-C version. No plans to. Oh, except now I'm going to get my soldering iron in because of the camera now. So moving camera again. Well, that's a little awkward. Maybe a little awkward. Okay, turn it on. And get my my air extraction. We'll see how good this works today. Meaning directly through the USB. Yeah, you flash it just from a USB. Just plug it in and flash it. Yeah, it doesn't need a bootloader on it first, like a SAMD or an STM32, like an ARM chip. Yeah. Okay, Alexa, turn on Save My Life. And there we go. So I'm just reading the chat. You can clamp your PCB stack to the edge of the table. Yeah, I thought about just sticking it down. I might just stick it down. It's probably not the best tape to be using for this anyway, but it's not so great. Not so great. All this work just to keep pogo pins straight. Okay. I think that'll do. Except my cable is probably in the way. Okay, I'll try this. I have to get up in a second for the oven. It doesn't matter which order I do this in. Yeah. Back in a sec. don't need tweezers, I need soldering iron. Probably should have rotated this the other direction so I can do it from the side. It would have made a lot more sense. That way it would be easier for me to solder. Okay. Let's get this done so we can test the board. So there's still too much movement on the pins. Stick a TinyPICO on the ends. What do I mean on the ends? On the top? Yeah, but then I can't see what I'm doing. Bit hard to solder. There's something in the way. Come on, thermal mass. You can do it. I'm definitely going to have to buy some more pogos. Or move to a bigger hole. Okay, I think that's good. I'm just going to mute while I turn this off. Double-sided pogos. That's pretty good. So I'll have a look under here. Slowly tapered forward. But that's not bad. Probably the best I've done. And, yeah. Good. Goody good. Pretty happy with that. So now, take the tape off. Hopefully I haven't made it too low to hit the PCB on the bottom, because then that'd be bad. Probably should have measured that length first. Can always cut them. Okay, yeah, that's actually pretty good. Look at that. Not bad. So stuff everywhere. Ah! Get off my fingers. Okay, I'm just going to chuck this out. Tape. Let's move my chat so I can see it. So theoretically, I should be able to just pull this off. And oh, I didn't do the other headers yet, idiot. And that is really close. Oh, okay. I need to put the other headers on. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 19, 20. Yeah, I need. Okay, other headers. Get the board out. Check the board. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so there's just one pin I need to fix. Sorry, not one pin. The little resistor up on the corner here is not reflowed on one point. I will fix that shortly. I wouldn't use anything labelled 2020. Hello, Chris. By the way, hello, Dustin. 20mm thick PCBs. Yes, I could do that. Okay. It's going to be a pain to solder these on now because of the... oh, actually, they're the same height. How crazy is that? That's a fluke, I think. They're almost the same height. We need to get the tape off. Okay. They're pretty close to the same height, where the pogos are sitting and these pins coming down. But I feel more comfortable if I had them straight. I don't really want to solder them directly into... I could always put them into here and solder them on. Maybe I'll do that, so at least they'll be straight. So not so straight because of the... Yeah, okay, maybe not. What can I use? I can use these to hold it straight. Not a bad idea. See on? Just bear with me. The 3D printer is printing reflow master cases, or a case. Should a breadboard work? The pogo pins should give... The pogo pins are not breadboard spacing this way, so they won't go in. It's okay, I can do this. There we go, that'll work. As long as it's straight. It looks fairly straight. So iron back on. They're sprung at the top, not the bottom. So the wrong way around. Yep. I would love to buy a CNC. I've said it a few times. Buy or make one. I don't have the space for it. Like, I'm really tempted to buy a Shakio, whatever they're called. Okio. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. One of the new ones. I'm really tempted. Yes, I'm going to do this in the center because that's where I've got leverage. Not that I can see that side. Shapeoko, I think. That's what I'd love to get. One of the new ones, Shapeoko Pro, but they've only got the extra large ones right now. Okay, it's straight. It's pretty good. Okay, so I'll just solder the rest of those on. CNC. I don't know why I'm doing this under the microscope, by the way. Actually, I prefer soldering under a microscope, just because I can really see what's happening. Oh, I'm going to say the A word, okay? Alexa, turn on Save My Life. So I use this now not just for soldering, but for when I'm doing hot airing as well. I never really thought about how much fumes I was sucking in when I was hot airing before. But the difference now using that is incredible. It also sucks a lot of the heat just in the air away. Yeah, there's quite a few things I want to do with the CNC. If I had one, but yeah, I just not only is it a lot of money, but yeah, I don't have the space, and they're quite messy, so I can't have stuff like that in the garage now with the assembly line there. I think we're about to do a coffee break, folks. Although I've got half a cup there, it is cold. Really could do with some coffee. Not yet though, but soon. Okay. What do Australians look like from space? Hello, was it? Sideband Samurai. Need some breakfast. I wouldn't mind some breakfast. Okay. That's actually the straightest soldering I think I've ever done. Check this out. Look at that. Wow. And nice and neat. So you've all inspired me to be a better solderer. Now I need to switch for a second. Not burn myself. I'm lifting the camera for a second, folks, to get it off the iron. I have to move it out of the way just for a second. Sorry. And I just need to fix this little resistor. So this resistor is on the reset line, so if I don't fix this, it won't reset. Or the enable line, I should say. Okay, good. Just giving us another check just in case. Looks good, looks good, looks good. I think we're good. Hello, Stephen. Yeah, I'm just using an inline extraction fan under my desk that goes to a carbon filter under my desk, so it doesn't have to go outside. And yeah, I'm just got it connected to a smart plug and using the Echo Dot to turn it on and off. It's great. I only did it last week. I haven't made a video about it because it's pretty basic standard stuff, right? Like it's, you know, when it comes to like automation, it's pretty non-eventful, but it's pretty cool. It's great. I love it. I really love it. I don't know what EV blog has, to be honest with you. Don't know what Dave's got. Okay, so this should plug into here. Excuse me. Like that. And I have no cable. No, I need to get some cables. What do I need? I need one of those. New cables. One of those and one of those. I've got boxes I have not opened. So I need a USB-C to USB-C. Watch me cut myself again. Knives again. And I need a USB-A to USB-C. Hello, Rob. So I've got a I bought an air purifier as well. I've got a Samsung air purifier sitting over there, but it can't be controlled via a power outlet. It's got one of those silly push and hold a touch sensitive button to turn on and off. So just turning the power on and off doesn't do anything on it. So yeah, that's a bit annoying. Okay, so USB A, probably not the right cable for this right now. It's a bit taut, but don't worry, I'm okay with that for the moment. And then that goes to the board that's going to be tested. And I should have a power cable here somewhere. I do. My desk is really messy though. Okay, on. Okay, it's got a boot. I have to log into it. If I can remember what its name is. What I missed in chat, so you can check the soldering iron is on and auto switch on the extract via an automation. Yeah, but I don't know why I need to do that. I could just tell it to turn on and off myself. Fake finger taped to the touch sensor. Hey, Henrik. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you as well. Do you have two power supplies on that board? The battery and the USB-C power. On which board? Talking about on this, the battery is here to test the battery works and the charge works on the TinyPICO. Oh, interesting. Well, TinyPICO turned on because I forgot that it automatically powers it. That was silly. Just bear with me a second. I don't remember which, what the name of this Raspberry Pi is. Damn, that's going to be annoying. Why not all connectors on the one side? Because there's no room for all the connectors to be on the one side. You mean come into here and then back out to there again? There's no room because of the headers to put a second USB-C. I'd have to extend the board out too far, which I don't really want to do. Hey Todd, welcome, and cool, I'm glad you're having fun using it. What is the name of this board? This Raspberry Pi. What kind of Wi-Fi socket do I use? I'm just using one of these. I covered this last week on my stream. Using one of these brilliant smart plugs. How do you determine the TBA inductor? Hey Jaden, what do you mean the TBA inductor capacitors? You're talking about for the RF? You need to get yourself a VNA and you need to match it. Gotta love test jigs, yeah. Test jig works great, except I've got so many of them now, I don't remember what Raspberry Pi name is what. Yeah, I don't remember what it is. Oh, could help if I spell properly. I did raspberry. There we go. Idiot. Hey, hello, Mallow. Rather name on the Pi on the PCB somewhere. Yeah, I know, but I should, but I keep swapping around. No, I got it right. I just spelt it wrong. Okay, so I can now load the board. Put it on. I'm gonna have to hold it on. Move that out of the way. Oops. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, now I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so it's detecting the board. Did you see it change from load board to press button? Sorry. It's press button, and then if I press the button, searching, found. Hey Nick, how you doing? Dun dun dun. Failed Gpio test. Oh, right. This will fail the Gpio test because this is set up for the Nano. And the Nano has more I/O than the TinyPICO. That's a really good point, Sion. The number of I/O is going to be different. It's looking for 25 and it only found 14. Because there are only 14. Hello, Mark. Display the IP and or host name on the screen on first power up. That's actually not a bad idea as well. Rob? Yeah, it's a good idea. I've got lots of labeling machines, Chris, and Sharpie pens, but I keep swapping the SD cards around between the different devices, the different jigs. Oh, that's really annoying. Okay. Really annoying. Just let me think for a second. Okay, I'm going to hack this code, or copy it first. It's not going to be overly interesting what I'm about to do. Hey, cable tie. Mark's always designing new boards. Okay, so what don't we have? We don't have that one. 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 21, 22. We don't have that one. We don't have that one. So 5, 35, 34. I don't have that one. That one. 33, 32, 25. So we've got 1, 2, 3. No. 4, 5, 6. No. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Oh, but I don't know where they're routed to. Okay, this is going to be much harder to do. Okay, not so easy. Any chance of turning the lifesaver? Oh, I'm going to say the word. Sorry about that. Alexa, turn off Save My Life. Sorry, folks. I forgot that it was still going. It's not that loud, is it? Okay, so I'm going to have to... I can't test this on this jig. That's really annoying. Really annoying. But yeah. Just let me think for a sec, folks. Hang on. Zip tie. It's pretty loud. I thought you guys said last week it wasn't so loud. Do you have TinyPICO test code somewhere? Yeah, I can't do it off my normal TinyPICO jig because the... Okay, hang on a second. Back in a sec. Okay, so what I can do is, let me just shut this down. Oh, of course. Hang on. Oh, no. Didn't mean to do that. Just let me shut it down. Rattling noise. Yes, that is my 3D printer printing in the background. I am printing Reflow Master cases. Sorry. It's on stealth mode though. Make a trigger for the film shifter. Looks to play. Can you give you up? It's really funny. Did I just go to Bunnings? No, I didn't go to Bunnings. Sausages, yum. Okay, so what I will do is move that out of the way. So this is my current test jig, TinyPICO test jig, and zoom out a bit. And as you can see, I can't fit the board in because of the these bits here, right? But what I can do is, if I can find an appropriate screwdriver. This is not so appropriate, but I'm going to take the panel off and hold it down just like I did on the other one. And then I can use this one. I should plug this in and let it boot. So I can hold it on and do it. At least I've got that other board now, so I can actually go and write the code. So the reason it's not so easy for me to change the code over is because it's not direct pin mapping from the Pi with the I/O to the TinyPICO. It's using the MCP 23017s, two of them, and so I need to go back to the schematic and map which actual MCP pin is on each one, if that makes sense. Okay, so I should now be able to do what I did before. Let me just log back in. If I order TinyPICO now, will it be the new one with the PS RAM on the front and the flat antenna, or the odd one? The new one. So I've only been shipping, I'm only shipping these ones, but now with the white antenna. Because all the don't have any more of the blue antennas. So I'm only shipping those now. Yeah, the V2. And the Crowd Supply, I've got their last order. I just sent them like the first part shipment of 1,000 boards. They're all the V2 boards. Everything's V2 now. So yes, you'll get V2. Thinking. Okay. This one I know which one it is. See you later, Shivraj. Have a good sleep. Add a flash ROM to each adapter board with the test code for that board on it. Add a flash ROM. No, because then changing the test code is a nightmare, and changing the firmware is a nightmare. And so my new test jigs, which is not in the, that was a nano one I was using before, which was the first one I did. But my Feather S2 test jig that's out there actually is capable of doing all the different ones, but I had not done the setup for the TinyPICO yet. That's all. So that's why this is the first time I'm running a TinyPICO on the new test jig. Okay. Oh, need to change cable. Is DigiKey, do they switch? I have no idea what stock DigiKey you've got. Sorry. No idea. I buy my antennas directly from the manufacturer. Okay. Stay still. Okay, so let's try that again. This one won't do the VBAT test, but the VBAT test worked on the other test jig, so I'm not too worried about that. Only CS and you have the TPs. I don't know what stock other people have got. I know Adafruit are out of stock, so the next order they get from Crowd Supply will be, or from Mauser, will be the new ones. I don't know who's got stock of what really, to be honest with you. There we go, pass! Yay! So it works. If I take it off, it'll turn off. I'll just plug it into a normal USB-C on my computer. There we go. Working, USB-C. So I need to work out how I'm going to panelize these. Because of the overhang of the USB-C connector, I can't V-score from the side. So I'm going to have to mouse bites them. It's okay, I spent ages on a microcontroller board. Forgot to write the testing code until I'd assembled one. Yeah, I mean, the building test jigs takes longer than designing and making boards. Just storing the board name, pin map, and the voltage requirements. Chris, but I'm still constantly updating the test code and the firmware that I'm flashing. I'm constantly changing the firmware and the example code that I ship on it. So doing what you're saying is still not going to remove all of the other manual work I have to do whenever I want to. Okay, so although I built these to be modular where I could test any board on any device, that's not what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing, I have dedicated test jigs for every device because I'm testing, I'm not, like right now I'm in a massive production of TinyPICOs and Feather S2s and Nanos, so I need active test jigs for all of them. So I'm not I don't have to worry about moving stuff around. It's not a requirement for me right now. The fact was I had never run a TinyPICO on the new test jig system on these ones, the modular one, because I have two existing TinyPICO test jigs which I've been using. No, the APA is a new batch of APAs I've got that are brighter, that's all. Nothing to do with the USB-C current. Sure, but as I said, I'm not moving the boards around between different Raspberry Pis. My Feather S2 jig is my Feather S2 jig, and it doesn't have to know about any other code. My Nano jig is my Nano jig, and my TinyPICO jigs are my TinyPICO jigs. That's all I'm saying. There's no point trying to set up something fancier to make them be able to move around when it's not a requirement for me right now. It was a requirement at the start when I wasn't expecting to be making so many boards, but now it's quicker and easier for me to go out and buy more Raspberry Pis and make dedicated test jigs. I've got like 6 dedicated test jigs now. So trying to solve that doesn't help me in any way, I don't think. Hey, Quixotic Geek. Other than, sure, coming up with a nice system for the sake of coming up with a nice system, I mean, that's great. I've got no problems doing that. But it's not something I need. Yeah. And right now, refining my test jig is not a good use of my time. Building boards is a good use of my time. Do you get your APAs directly from the manufacturer? No, I buy them from a supplier through China. But I've got a reliable supplier I've been buying from a very long time. It's all Marco's fault. I just thought it would keep the test code base the same with a bit of logic. Well, no, the other thing is I can't keep all the test code the same because these are all, like my TinyPICOs and my Nanos are all MicroPython based, and the way they get flashed is totally different to my Feather S2s, which is CircuitPython based, which gets flashed in a totally different way. So, like the ESP tool part is kind of the same, but the versions that it's way more complicated than that. They're not all using. There's too much difference about them all. The testing procedure, even the testing procedure, is totally different. So on my Feather S2 boards, I'm using Pi serial to talk directly to the board. On my MicroPython compatible boards, I'm using R shell because it's much easier to work with. But I couldn't get R shell working with CircuitPython. So yeah, right now they're not all the same, and I can't get them all the same. But it's okay. Like it's fine. It really is. I should have set up the TinyPICO testing system on the new test jig a long time ago. But as I said, I took the Pi that was on this, that was going to be for the TinyPICO, and I've been playing around with the Vision system instead. Yeah, it's that divergent, unfortunately. It'd be nice if there was MicroPython on the S2, and then I could do it all the same, but I can't, so... Oh, it's Mark Olson's fault. Sure. Everything's Mark Olson's fault. Just ask Emma. Okay, well anyway, so yeah, I need to work out how I'm going to... like that bit of overhang just there means I can't overlap two boards. Because if I do this, then I can't place the antenna or the APA, right? So... on my, look at that, they didn't even clean the edge of the board when they routed them. On my Feather S2, I do this. Right, I've got a lip sticking up, but I don't have enough room on the TinyPICO to do that because of GLC PCB's routing requirements. They'll end up cutting the corners of my boards off because they want 5 millimeters. They want 5 millimeters as the route gap, which is crazy. This isn't 5 millimeters here, but look, I could try to do something similar to that, but this is a problem to clean. I can't clean. We've spoken about this, and I know Chris will say, yeah, you can come up with something really easy to do that. Not so easy. Not so easy because it's manual work to go and actually clean that edge if I have to use a different system to clean it. So I prefer not to do that. I'd rather come up with a system that it was completely routed away. And so maybe they were V-scored this way. Right? All the way up. But they were routed through here. So there was a gap. That's probably what I'll do. But I need to do it. Another trip to the belt sander. Always to the belt sander. Hey Keen! Good morning. Just leave it long and shear it. Leave it long. Leave what long and shear what? Huh? What? Anyway. What time is it? 8:49. What do you mean by shear it? Yeah. Like I can't get into that easily to clean it. I'm not sure what you mean by shear it in this case. Did it work? Yes, it does work. The TinyPICO does work. Well, there's no reason why it shouldn't have worked. But you know, I could have misrouted something. Wouldn't be the first time. And oh yeah. So for those my patrons, in case you if you remember, it looks like that antenna has gone on straight, which is quite exciting. So for those that aren't aware, the footprint requirement and the pads on the bottom of the board of these two antennas, that will focus. Oh, come on. They're the same, but they reflow differently. And so I've been getting a lot of rotation on my antennas on all my boards that I've had to hand fix reworking afterwards, which is a real pain in the backside. Something to do with the construction or whatever else of the new antenna makes them rotate, where the old ones, they were perfectly straight every time. So I have made a custom footprint for this, and this is the first time I've used a custom footprint, and it came out straight, which is good. I don't have any examples I can show you of non-straight because they're all been straightened and pulled apart. So hopefully, so my new Feather S2 boards that are coming have got this updated footprint for the antenna as well, and hopefully I won't have to spend time hot airing them and straightening them. I've spoken to the to Fractus about it, and they're unsure why it's happening, but it's reliably rotating and only on the white ones, not on the blue ones. Can you explain what you changed in the footprint and why it reduced the problem? So I did two things. Firstly, I think they were over pasting them, as in the amount of paste in the data sheet was too much on the opening. Let me find a... I need to get a PCB with the old one. One sec. Okay, so look at the colour of the E-nig is different. Now, it might not be overly visible, but these pads are to their datasheet spec. These ones here, I've shrunk them down a little bit. Right, not a huge amount. It might be a bit hard to see in the video, but I've shrunk them down about 8%. I didn't want to go too crazy because I didn't want to change the characteristics of it too much. But the other thing I did is on the stencil is the requirements on their stencil, like for the footprint, are just 2 open holes, the same size as the pads. But I've changed that now to be 2 smaller openings, so there's less paste going on there. So there was a considerable amount of paste going on the those footprints. Let me just grab an antenna. Blue and a white. So there's a blue and there's a white. The pad sizes are the same, but the antenna, the white antenna, looks to be slightly bigger and it's squarer on the edges, which means there's more area around the pads. And so by making the actual the pads that they specify in their data sheet are pretty much the size of the antenna, not the size of the pad. And the amount of paste that you get through that opening is just way too much. But it was never a problem on the blue ones. The blue ones, like, I had maybe one angled one out of every 100 antennas. With the white ones, I have one angled one. I have 70% of my board will be angled. So on a panel of 15, 70% of the TinyPICOs will have an angled antenna. Hey, Photochromax, where, well, it can't be the thickness of the stencil because all my stencils are the same thickness, and it wasn't an issue on the blue one. It's only an issue on the white one, which has got Fractus perplexed, and the datasheet spec is the same. But like I've shown it on my and one of my Patron videos, and like it's really like some of them, like I wouldn't ship boards like it, and I know I've been told that I'm too critical over it and I should ship them anyway, but yeah, I can't do it. Like, you know, they're visibly on an angle. It's not an OCD thing. It's just a it just looks ugly. So I'm putting less paste, and the footprint is slightly smaller, which should hopefully give it less wiggle. And the first one obviously came out great. That's pretty straight. Very happy with that. So hopefully that'll replicate itself out. Unfortunately, I've got 1700 TinyPICO PCBs here that have got the old footprint. There's a lot of straightening I need to do, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, the specs in the datasheet are the same for reflow. Nothing's changed. As far as they're concerned, the it's just the colouring on the outside that's different, but the manufacturing is the same of the, I'm just moving these over so you can see, is the same. And the reason they've got squarer edges now is because they had forever an issue with the cleanliness of the edges of the antennas, like when they cut them. Like some of the antennas that I've received from them have just been, I don't know if I've got any that are really overly bad. It's just really messy on the edges anyway. So the way they're cutting them now gives a much cleaner edge. But yeah, I don't know, it could be something to do with the white compared to the blue. I don't know. They don't think anything's changed. Hey Todd, must be the square edges, more material causing heat transfer to be different. It could be, I don't know. But as I said, they don't think there should be any different. But they clearly are. Like it's 100% reproducible. So hopefully this will help it a lot. How's the pick and place going? Awesome. Yeah, I've got a lot of TinyPICO still to build. A lot of TinyPICOs to build. Less pace leads to lower height between antenna and PCB. Well, sure, and also less surface area of solder for it to move around on. Yeah, it's a standard stencil. Same thickness stencil I've been getting from JLC PCB forever. The same ones I was using before with the blue antennas with no problem. Catch you later, Bradan. Thanks for joining. No polishing. On me, I don't polish a small stencil. My frame stencils I get polished, absolutely. Hit and miss whether it really makes a difference though, I gotta say. And it could just be the average quality of JLC PCB's polishing of the stencils, but I can get two stencils from them both being polished and they look quite different. So, but I never get a small stencil like this polished because I'm generally only using them once or twice. Less height will increase the surface tension and stop it moving around a bit. Sure, like I definitely think it could be. I already did that one, Quixotic Geek, but I'm actually changing my paste, as I mentioned earlier in the stream. Part color makes a difference in thermal absorption. Sure, except the part color isn't really different. It's just the color of the top and bottom. But yes, but it still shouldn't make them rotate. I mean, look, I don't know. They manufacture it and they seem to think there's no reason why it should be rotating. Are the antennas pre-tinned? No, they've just got an Enig type surface on the bottom of them. I'll switch cameras again. Yeah, as you can see, it's just kind of like a, I don't know if it is Enig or not, but yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully this will have a fan in the oven somewhere that gently pushes against the antenna. No fans in the oven, no. But again, blue antennas don't rotate. White antennas do rotate. Same footprint, same stencil, same everything. Oh, absolutely. Like, that's, you know, I'm not saying factors say there's no reason it should happen, so therefore there's no reason it should happen. I'm not saying that. Clearly it's happening. And so, honestly, it's a bit OCD. If its edges were not rotating over the board edge, who cares if it works and it's consistent? No, it's not OCD at all. It's, I have a very high quality bar for the products I make and sell. And I'm not going to sell a board that has, you know, you got to an antenna sitting at the edge of the board and the antenna's on an angle. Like it's wrong. It shouldn't be on an angle, and it looks ugly, and it's not an OCD thing. I have a lot more respect for the stuff that I sell. Sorry. It's as simple as that. Like I you know, if it's something that I can fix, then I'll fix it. If it's not, you know, I don't know why it's happening and it pisses me off that I have to sit there, you know, I can now, I paste a board, I put it in the pick and place, it builds, it goes straight into the oven, and I take it out, and I have a perfect board that needs no rework. No rework. Except I have to rotate antennas. Like, that is infuriating. If I didn't have to rotate the antennas, I would have to do the number of parts I need to rework on a panel is like 2 parts every 3 panels now. That's how much I've dialed in the machine, and that's how good it's going. Yet I'm having to go and fix 10 or 11 antennas on every panel. That is infuriating. But I'm not going to ship a board that's got a rotated antenna on it because it looks shit. Yeah. It's not a little bit. It's you know, 4 degrees, 5 degrees, 6 degrees. Like it's a small board. Like if it was a big board with a slightly rotated antenna on the side, no one will notice it. Like it's a small board, and the white antenna stands out like a sore thumb on the board, and it looks great. But if that was on an angle, it would be obvious. Can you use the jig to hold it in place as you solder? I'm not hand soldering it, it's going through an oven. There's no jig I can put on it to hold it still. It's coming off the pick and place machine directly into the oven. 2 watts is a lot of heat, yeah. What's Mike wanting to do? Your question above. Hi, I'm making a board with 20 volt input, 3 volt output. Any recommendations on the best, cheapest, easiest to regulate their voltage? No, an LDO is definitely not okay for that. An LDO is clean in terms of frequency, but it works by dissipating heat. Like, yeah, that is way too much of a drop. Like, if you want to use LDOs, you want to go from 24 volt down to 5 volts, maybe through a buck, and then from that you can regulate down to 3.3 volts through LDO if you want clean. But no, you definitely no LDO. You don't want to go an LDO, not one LDO anyway. That's way amount of heat. Yeah, don't do that. Just a basic step down. Basic step down would work. I mean, you can buy dedicated chips that do it now. You can even get dedicated chips that have that have all the inductors and stuff inside it. Yeah, that's too much of a drop. I would never go anything higher than 5 volts down to 3.3 with an LDO. Maybe 9 volts, but that's not really. Yeah, 12 volts or above, you definitely want to step it down. Try a longer pre-soak in the reflow cycle to account for the lower thermal absorption. Yeah, possibly. But I don't want to play with my. I mean, I've tuned my oven. I don't want to play with my my oven just to try to fix an antenna rotation. Yeah. I'm not sure that's the... I don't want to sacrifice other issues, reflow issues, by doing that. Like, we'll see how we go. As I said, I've got a lot of TinyPICOs I need to do, and they've all got the older footprint. Maybe I'll experiment on a longer soak. I don't know. I think it's just the wrong shape footprint. Like the wrong size footprint and opening on the stencil for these antennas. That's all. There are a broad range of LDOs for automotive use, considering something like that. The outermost pins are bigger. Yeah, they're the VCC and ground. Oh, that's the wrong picture. VCC and ground, and then the inside ones are all of the double D pluses, D minuses, whatever. Sharpie or lamp, black on a panel. Width of those antennas and see if they go better. A Sharpie or lamp. Right, I don't, yeah, okay. It's not less pull of from surface tension, it's less. So if you think about it, if you've got a big pad and you have a big pad on your board and a small pad on the device, then that device can sit anywhere on that pad, right? And it's to be connected. Like, there's no guarantee it's always going to get pulled to the center of the pad. And if you add lots of paste on that as a process, it'll also lift up, it'll allow it to rotate a bit, and because paste curves off into the corners of the pad, you know, it's got a curve that it can move on, and it's likely to move on that curve away from the center. So smaller pads, less paste, should give a thinner, flatter paste reflow, and hopefully less reason for it to shift on a curve. Do you have to have 24 volt input, Mark? Like, what else is on the board is using 24 volts? And if you do need that, like, what, can't you have two different? Oh, yeah. You can get cheap buck converters, like LCSC have. Okay. Hey, Peter. Can you curve outward the outer edge of the pads, or would this degrade the antenna functionality? I don't know if it will or it won't degrade the antenna characteristics, but making a slightly smaller pad so there's less space and putting less paste on it, I think, is the way to go. It's the easiest thing I can try without risking changing the characteristics of the antenna. Yeah, I'd be looking at using a pre-existing module, DC to DC module, rather than trying to do discrete, or, you know, not discrete, but individual components. Can you get them to assemble the boards but not that component, and then you can put that component on afterwards? JLC and LCSC are the same, well, they're owned by the same company. They're not the same company. But JLC don't offer every component that LCSC have. Like, when you say you want them manufacture it, you want JLC PCB to manufacture it, you're talking about a short run? Like, you don't want to be using JLC PCB to actually manufacture product. That's not what they're designed for. 200 plus, I wouldn't be getting JLC PCB to do that. Anyway, well, that's me anyway. I mean, I know you can get them to do it, but being restricted by what they offer and lack of parts and everything else like that, I'd be doing it. I'd be getting someone else to manufacture it. I mean, 200 plus is not a prototype run. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, JLC PCB offer assembly, prototyping assembly. They don't offer production assembly. Anyway, just leave the pad the same size and reduce the solder mask opening, and less paste the way you modified the stencil apertures. Well, sure. That's why I only changed the pad size just a fraction. I really don't think it's going to change the characteristics that much for the amount that I changed it. I was going to change it much more. But yeah, I'm not sure if you saw it before. Like the difference in pads, it's really hard to visually tell the difference. So, is the antenna too complex to print on the PCB itself? Yeah, it's a 3D antenna. PCB is 2D. It's a totally different type of antenna to a PCB antenna. Hey, MO Night Systems. Sure, PCBWay is also considerably more expensive than JLC PCB are for their PCB assembly. Hey Mike, you're not late. Do I know, Jaden, of any Aussie assembly companies? I don't. Or not at the top of my head anyway. I'm sure Keen might know some. But Mark's in Europe, in Sweden, so... Oh yeah, Cable Tie will know of some. Well, I didn't get my second coffee. Shame. So, I'm trying to think what else. What else? No? Feeling a bit lost. I only print one at a time. My print bed is not big enough to print multiple cases, unfortunately. It's right on the edge of the print area. The Prusa is printing cases. It's printing one at a time, Reflow Master cases for orders. I've got a black one to do, and then an orange one to do, and then 2 red ones to do. So yeah, getting an extra printer would be handy, but yeah, I'm not saying JLC PCB don't do decent work, but they're not a manufacturing, they're not a production CM, and that they don't claim to be one, and that they have too many restrictions. I mean, if it suits your purpose, great, but I'm not talking about to you, Mark, just in general. Like, if it suits your purpose, use JLC PCB. But they've got way too many restrictions right now. Like, they've just offered black PCBs, but only 2 layers. Okay. Like, why they can't do a 4-layer board doesn't make any sense when they can do a 4-layer green board. Yeah, the VL53, they are annoying. Well, they're not hard to solder. Like, what do you mean? Stencil, place them, reflow. Stencil, place them, hot air. I wouldn't want to hand solder them. They updated the blue as well. No, I can't use a belt printer, but thank you. We discussed this, was it last week? Or was it? No, I discussed it on Twitter. I can't use a continuous printer. I need different colors. So yeah, for me, having multiple printers is the solution. What was that? So many solder pastes. How on earth can you choose between them all? What are your requirements? What temperature do you want to reflow at? Leaded, unleaded? I mean, they're the only things you want to start with, and then, you know, like I saw you were talking to Keen before. I think it was Keen. Like, how small are your apertures that you need T5? T5's super expensive. There's only one belt 3D printer right now, which isn't actually available yet. It's still crowdfunded in the crowdfunding system, and yeah, and it's only single color, so it doesn't really help me. You can do that with the T3. You don't need T5 for that. T3, T4 works fine. It's about your pasting. It's about how well you paste it. I mean, my Feather S2s have 2 of them on there. Never had a problem. I'm just using standard JLC PCB stencils with it. I mean, I could get better quality stencils, but yeah, I've never had to rework one. Blocked up in the stencil. That's your pasting technique. Sorry. It's, yeah, the maybe how old your paste is, the quality of your paste, but also your pasting technique. How's the stencil sitting on the board? Is it airtight? Is it perfectly firm? Maybe look at getting a framed stencil. But yeah, yeah, I don't. You definitely don't need to go even. Hey Chris, don't even need, like T3 will work fine. Yeah. I mean, I'm using T4 on everything right now, but I used to use T3, low temp T3 with those LDOs, no problem. Yeah, there's so many things. Like when it comes to pasting, it's technique is the most important, and then the alignment and stability of the stencil, and then I believe the paste. Like even older paste that isn't wet enough can still be in the right setup. Can still be used, no problem. But it could also be the what's your footprint for those, for the LDO, like for the cream layer, like what have you done? Like maybe open up the cream layer a bit, like on your stencil. Cat hair? What? Cat hair in the way of stenciling. So it's the, what's it, the 30th today? Yeah. Crazy. Sounds like hand pasting deep dive video could come in handy. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't know if me doing a video about pasting is going to help many people. Yeah, I don't know. This is my last live stream of the year. I know, how crazy is that? And it's live stream number 52. So I did 52 of them. Did a whole year. What? What's my first new project going to be? Oh, I have no idea. Might not be any new projects. And last live stream of the decade as well. That's very true. Open the champers. Nah. Hey John. Yeah, there's no hurry to get rid of 2020 because 2021 is not going to be any different. It's really not. So, okay, I'm going to panelize my TinyPICO USB-C version and I'll do a short run of them and stick them up on the store if anyone wants USB-C version. Stencil printer with true vertical lift is still on my wish list. Yeah, vertical lift makes quite a big difference, or as much vertical as possible rather than the folding up. TinyPi, a high-powered Pi Zero W, but actually tiny. Sounds like a good project for you, Aaron. Not for me. Yeah. So I'm just looking at the board. I mean, the nice thing about these is I can just run these on my pick and place without any changes. I got a Prusa, original Prusa Mark III, which I upgraded to Mark 3S, which I upgraded to the Mark 3S. No, Mark III that I upgraded to the 3S. Yeah, something like that. Really happy with it. USB is the way to go. I hate when stuff has micro USB or mini. Right, you got to remember though, when I designed the TinyPICO, it was, when was it? Was it 2018? Although, I was quite happy to use USB-C back then. Very few people wanted USB-C back then. And I'm not going to drop the micro B version of it, because that's what the TinyPICO is. But having an additional version with USB-C. How many cases can I make in a day? It's just under 5 hours per print, so not enough. 3 a day is all I can do on one printer. But I go through periods of time where I make, I don't have to print any of them. And I used to stockpile them, but I didn't in this case, and I probably should have. Maximum PS RAM the ESP32 can support is 4 megabytes. The ESP32 S2 and above can do 128 megabytes. Catch you later, Peter. Happy New Year to you too, mate. A decade is a resistor substitution box. Zero was invented in India. Really? Interesting. I don't care if it's the end of a decade or not. Do you ever think about SLA printing? Yes, it's still a little bit too messy for me, I think. And yeah, I don't know, maybe. The Anycubic stuff looks pretty good. I'm not sure I want to go down that road just yet. Not yet. $2040 is closer than 2000. Well, not yet, but soon. Oh, Keen, you hate it? Really? Why do you hate it? The TinyPICO does have HID Bluetooth. Not USB based HID, but Bluetooth HID, yes. Yeah, SLA, it's too messy. I don't particularly want to be printing cases with them. Yeah, I was on BitLooney's stream when he was playing with them, which just reaffirmed to me that there's still, I mean, it's better than it was. The cleaning and curing stations, a vast improvement, right? But I still think it's still not quite there yet. Not for me anyway. Getting printers to stick to the platform and not the FEP is much harder than I expected. And poisonous and smelly and stuff, yeah. So I'm not quite ready for that. I mean, what I could do is just outsource getting these printed, 3D hubs or something, and just get a whole bunch made, a whole bunch printed. But they end up costing too much doing it that way. I mean, obviously, this is just costing me time and the filament, right, and electricity, which is marginal. But because I keep running out of reflow masters, and then I do a batch, and then I run out and then do a batch, I get a chunk of orders at a time. And when I get a chunk of orders and people want cases, all of a sudden I find myself, 4 or 5 days straight printing case after case after case, which is just a really frustrating thing. But then I'll go weeks at a time and not be printing anything on the printer. So that's why it's hard to justify getting a second printer. But that would help. A second printer would help. Like, it would double my throughput by getting a second printer. With a fresh Pico D4, can the first flash happen in Arduino IDE, or does it need? No, it can flash from anywhere. First flash. It doesn't require a bootloader like other chips do. brand new fresh D4, stick it on a board, plug it into Arduino IDE as long as you've got everything installed correctly, and just flash it. Give me a plus. Yeah, I was thinking of doing that because it's much cheaper, but it can only just do a case size. Like I want to see how reliable the Mini Plus works when it's doing edge-to-edge printing on the plate, because my case is right to the edge, and that's the worry. Like, that's why I can't get two cases on this print right now. Although, like, 2 cases, it would just make it take twice as long, right? But it's because maybe it's just my Prusa, but you know, if I print right to the edges, I start getting warping and issues on the print. If I print like a centimeter in from the edges, everything's fine. But a centimeter in from the edges means I can't get 2 cases on there at once. I've tried laser cut case alternatives. I can't laser cut a case. No, not the type of case I want to do, no. Like, I need an additive process, not a subtractive process. Yeah, I don't want to go for a different brand if I can avoid it. At the end of the day, I want one file, one slicer setting, one thing on the same printer, same results. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be messing around with different files for different printers. This is just using eSun PLA Plus. So yeah, 2 large prints means twice the failure possibilities. Yeah, like, you know, printing more at once is bound to increase the opportunity for failure. Well, it more than doubles it if I'm printing 2, as I said, because of the printing to the edges of the printer. Did Charmhigh make a 3D printer? No, but if they did, I would imagine it would throw the parts that it prints all over the floor. Yeah, vacuum form is kind of cool, but it's 3-dimensional, but it's 2-dimensionally 3-dimensional, right? So wouldn't really work again for what I want to do. Catch fire. I don't know, it would just, the nozzle would lift up and start shooting like melted plastic everywhere. Not much Charmhigh love, no. So, by the way, my electric hybrid feeders from Charmhigh, they're finally dying. I've lost 7 now. 7 of the 36. They just don't work anymore. So, I'm going to have to start buying new electric feeders soon, which is going to be expensive. So, that's disappointing. They lasted a little while. I was hoping they'd last at least at the end of this production run, but it does not look like it. A teardown. What are we tearing down? So I'm just cleaning the edge of this board. A teardown of what? Of the feeder? Of electric feeder? Yeah. Maybe. Right now my focus is on trying to get these boards built. Yeah, at least I'm buying stuff for the machine that works. Absolutely. Absolutely. There you go, let's look like my couch. That's more reels. Stuff came in yesterday. Reels. The issue with the big reels, I don't have enough big feeders. Yeah, these are speakers or buzzers. Yeah. I need to buy more feeders, but I don't have a place to store feeders. Send a feeder to Big Clive to tear down. Yeah, I could do that actually. Might get there in like 12 weeks. Electric feeders are about $400 each. It's not the end of the world, but it adds up, you know. What were those 12 dots next to the USB-C on the stream thumbnail test points? What were those 12 dots next to the USB-C? 12 dots. No. You mean 6 dots? You mean on each side of the USB-C? Is that what you meant? There were 5.1K resistors and LEDs. Whoop. Can't see. Won't focus. Power and charge LED. No, 3 on each side. Oh, top and bottom. Yes, 6. Okay. You could also use the CR30. So name is video here. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm staying with Prusa. I know that sounds elitist, but that's okay. I'm not saying the other printers aren't good, but I'm not interested in the learning curves on them and having to dial them in and stuff. As I said, it'll either be another Mark 3S or it'll be a Mini. I mean, I can buy 2 Minis for the same price as a Mark 3S. Maybe that's an option. But I'm sticking with the same. I want the same files, same slicer, same output to be on all the different printers. And I get free gummy bears. Yes. Yeah, so the 8mm feeders are like about $400. They get quite expensive when you get to the larger feeders. The Ultimakers are pretty cool. Thanks, Henrik. Yeah, I know what the CR30 does, but it also doesn't let me change colour. I don't need to print multiple of the same one. I need to print lots of different colours at the same time. So for me, multiple printers is the option, not a continuous one colour printer. If there was a continuous multicolour printer, that would be a different story, but there's not. Also, reconfiguring my file to print on the angle like they do. I don't know how structurally stable it would be. There's an automatic color changer specifically for the CR30, or I know there are other color changes on the market that you can jury rig into. They're really expensive. Yeah, all the TinyPICOs I'm shipping now are the new ones, not the USB-C ones, but the with the Fractus antenna. Where did I put that board? I seem to. Yeah, they're all these ones. Yes, V2 with the white antenna. Single-sided. They are. I haven't updated the website yet because I'm still waiting for Crowd Supply or for Mauser to list their stock. And once they've listed their stock, then I'll update the website. Yep. But they're all V2 boards. I've been shipping V2 boards for quite a while now. Yeah, I've heard that the Prusa's multicolor is a bit hit and miss. I thought about doing that on mine, but it still won't help me because I can still only do one at a time. But it means I don't have to change filament. But again, multiple printers means I can print multiple at the same time of different color, which is it seems the better way for me to go. I think I just got to talk myself into doing it. Am I taking a break? No, I'm not. I'm working straight through, which is okay. That's what I do. I work all the time, always have. But I've got so many boards to build still, thousands still left to build. As the amount of boards I build increases, the number of left to build increases. It's a moving goalpost at the moment, which is great. I'm not complaining. I've got orders coming in, but yeah, it's proving very tiring, and it's hard to keep my motivation levels up. Like the pick and placing side now is tuned fairly well. I'm really happy with it. My issue is all the rest of the work. You know, the pulling them apart, cleaning the edges, testing them, ultrasonically cleaning them, testing them again, bagging everything to ship it. I mean, that in itself is a huge amount of time. Like you can't imagine. Like I'm talking about like sitting, you know, at night in 4 or 5 hour blocks, just labels on bags, putting stuff in bags, putting boards in bags. And yes, no, I'm not getting my kids to do it. But I've been watching stacks of Netflix. So I just watched, finally, Dirk Gently, season 1 and season 2. Didn't know till the end that there was no season 3, that they had been cancelled. I should have looked first. Anyway, loved it. I thought it was great. And what else was watching? I watched October Faction. Thought that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. I need more automation. I can't work out how to automate the cleaning part. It's a manual labour thing, unfortunately. Yeah, Dirk Gently was great. It had some really funny stuff in it. It was really some really clever, witty stuff. Thanks, Rob. Towards the printer. Yeah, the problem, as I said, I keep saying I'm going to do it, and then I don't do it because my requirement disappears, and then it comes back, and I don't have it. I haven't watched The Queen's Gambit yet. I think Yaz might watch that with me, so I'm going to wait to watch that. Now, my kids aren't interested in helping on that type of stuff. Yeah, I just don't know how to improve the... do I have space for a second printer? Well, I've got stacks of space now. Yeah, I can get another desk in. I can get... If I move that printer away from this recording area, get it down there, and then I can set up multiple printers down there, for sure. Yeah, I was really disappointed because, like, season... no spoilers. I won't do spoilers. But season 2 ended on such a... Oh, wow, season 3 is going to be amazing. No. Yes, I haven't started watching Expanse yet. I want to wait till I've got all the episodes. Yeah, when I've got them all, then I'll watch it and I'll binge it. Yeah. 3D print, more 3D printers. Well, yeah, they're rep printers. You can kind of almost do that. So I did make a bit of progress with my... Yeah, I didn't like Series of Unfortunate Events. Sorry. I tried. I really tried. But I just couldn't get into it. Maybe I'll try again. Reminds me of my 2020. Anyway, so I started playing with the... This is going to be... I started playing with the new camera. Yay! And stuff. And I've worked out that I can't do a lot until I need to build a an extruded cube, like a like it doesn't have to be movable, you know, like doesn't need an XY gantry or anything on it, but I need a really solid, you know, 600 or 700 by 700 framed cube to mount the camera on, to get the board underneath to be able to continue with this. Yeah, I've been watching Brooklyn 99 with Yaz every night. Love it. Love it. It is so funny. I haven't laughed out loud so much in ages. Travelers is great. I love Travelers. That's been cancelled though, right? There's no more seasons, I don't think. Really enjoyed Travelers. 2 barrels of the Chamai used to be ultrasonic cleaner, the blue, not much left, and we get a new one, and that's IPA. And they're in here because I've got no room in my garage for them. Prusa uses over 1,000 printers. What? You mean printers to print their stuff? Yes. I think that's what you meant. Bruce managed to have a nap during the stream. No worries. Yeah, no spoilers on The Expanse. No spoilers. Oh, Printhead is a nerd who does printing. Really? Okay, I'm proud to be a Printhead. I didn't know that. The Expanse is expansive. Oh, now you've given it all away. Was that the final... Was it the tagline? Not the tagline, was it the punchline? Can you show the camera setup again? I can't really. Hi, Carol, because it's not set up. Like it's just all connected on that from before. But it's the new high quality camera using the zoom lens on a Raspberry Pi 4. Once I need to get it set up into something, and then I'll explain more what I'm doing. But I've got a design where I'm going to be using. I'm not going to go into it now. I will cover it more when I'm. I have to. I thought about buying a pre-existing kit, but by the time I get it from China, I don't know. I might just try to find somewhere locally I can buy a whole bunch of extruded aluminium, just 2020 V-slot corners and stuff, and build my own. It's just the zoom lens that I got it from Core Electronics. That one. I think that's just the one that. I don't know if there are different types, but that's the model. PT3611614M10MP, I think. Yep. Laser some acrylic. What am I lasering with some acrylic for? Could the charm be used for your camera stuff? No, it's not high enough. I need 60 centimeters height for the camera, and it doesn't have to be moving, but of course if it was moving it'd be even better. But yeah, right now I just need a fixed position. The camera's quite heavy, the lens is quite heavy, and it needs to be stable, and it needs to be measured exactly center, and I need to be able to exactly center a board underneath it, both center and with rotation. I know it can be corrected, but I want to start with having stuff nicely aligned, and it needs to be able to mount lights on it. Like I've got an idea for a lighting rig that I want to build on it that'll allow me to hopefully do something very interesting with a single camera. But yeah, I don't have anything here unless I try to make something out of wood, but it needs to be really square and structurally sound. Really? Is he making another big 3D printer? Another one? Did I miss that? I must have missed that. Okay. The fact is, I've never played around much with extruded aluminium stuff, and I should, so I will. Can you find an IBC tote? I have no idea what an IBC tote is. IKEA table, the one everyone uses for 3D printers. What am I using an IKEA table for? Like cut a hole in it and put the camera in the middle and put the board underneath? Yeah, that's not quite what I'm looking for. If that's what you're talking about, Rob. The lac, yeah. One of the 250-gallon liquid containers in a metal frame. Okay. Yeah, I know. I need something that I can vertically adjust on each side, intentionally square, lighting rig stuff. Like it's going to be, I'm going to have to use extruded aluminium to do it. Like, yeah, and I want to be able to put a plate on the bottom and potentially have it so I can put a Z axis on it, potentially to move it. So yeah, it doesn't make any, like it just makes sense doing it properly with a extruded aluminium cube or printery type frame to start with. Do a stream putting an IKEA table together. That'd be a boring stream. Camera be up facing, seems strange, but mounted under I still have, whether it's mounting up or mounting down, I still have the same problem. Yeah, it doesn't make sense trying to build something that can't be adjustable if I want to make it adjustable. I've already looked at CNC router frames. Won't work because they're not tall enough. As I said, I need minimum of 60 centimeters for the mounting of the camera. 3D printer frames would work, but you know, they're quite expensive. Like to buy the kit ones, even just the mechanical stuff. Like I've been looking at both locally and overseas. You know, to get them all with all the parts, it's going to work out just the same to ship all the parts myself. Just the shipping alone on them is, you know, $100 US because of the weight of all the bits that go with the aluminium and the lengths I need. So it just makes sense for me to try to do it myself. Like, what do I need? A saw to cut them. You know, extruded lengths, buy them, you know, meter lots or 1.5 meter lots. And yeah, I mean, start with a cube. It's not hard. Make sure you get 6mm slot. Meccano would be cool. Not structurally sound enough, I don't think. I can't believe it's 9:48. It's been almost a 3-hour stream. Everyone must be bored that you're all still sitting here. Like, it's still 148 concurrent people. 150. Wow. Everyone's just bored waiting for the end of the year, are you all? Yeah, I found some, Banggood have some frame kits, but yeah, they're not exactly what I want either. My friend had a project doing optical inspection for laser diode dies, use some sort of optical assembly. Did you get T-channel aluminium tubing from Home Depot? I don't know, we don't have a Home Depot here in Australia. You can't get them from our hardware stores, no, but there are places here in Australia that have. I have no idea what the price is like in comparison to you know, buying from eBay or buying from overseas, but it's about getting it quickly so I can move on to it quickly. So USB-C TinyPICO time to market. I need to panelize the boards and send them off to JLC PCB to get made. I guess technically once they're back, I can manufacture them. Oh, there are plenty of local places that have all the equipment. Like, it's not a problem sourcing them locally. It's just whether the pricing is, like, how bad the pricing is. I'm assuming the pricing is not going to be anywhere near the same as buying it from China. Just means our real lives are even more boring. Sure. Cool. Oh yeah, like I'm definitely going to do it. I mean, I wouldn't have just made it if I wasn't going to do it. So I just need to solve the panelizing. I think Henrik is a robot. Maybe. A Danish robot. Michael. Okay, I think it's time to wrap this up. I'm going to go make myself another coffee and then I'm going to fire up the pick and place machine and make some boards just for something different. The reel of buzzers behind you, what are they for? They go on my audio shields and they go on my play shield, my new play shield. Little sucker, whoops, right there. God, everything's backwards. That guy just there. So that's what they go on, and I'm going to try to build as much of these. Oh, you missed the start of the stream. I'm going to pick and place as much as I can. Although I can't pick and place everything. There's going to still be a lot of hand assembly on these, but that's okay. At least if I can get all the boring stuff, like all the passives and stuff done, I'll be doing all that on the pick and place machine. So I will be mass producing, or when I say mass producing, I don't have screens. Can't get screens right now. Maybe next week I'll be able to get screens. So, yeah, right now I can only make 4, because I've only got 4 more screens. But once I've got screens, yeah, when I say mass producing, I'll probably do a run of 50 or 60 and see how they go. I would like a microcontroller kit for self-assembly. Why? Because I like building stuff. Hey, Rich. Okay, are there no microcontroller kits out there? I don't have any. Like, I'm not making kits, sorry, of microcontroller stuff. Not for my boards, because how do I kit up 0402 components that have no markings on them? I can't. Like, a kit would end up costing 5 times as much as a pre-made board in how long it would take me to actually get all the parts and label them in a way that you know what they are, and then get them all together in a bag for you to build. Making kits is a huge time sink, so yeah, not something I'm going to be doing, sorry. You know, something like my whoppers is different because there's, you know, only a few parts and they're large and identifiable. What about a 10-pack for hackerspaces and Noodle? A 10-pack of what, Chris? Sorry? I have standardized the passives across my projects, but there's a large range of passives. Right, and as I said, with 0402 components, they're all non-labeled. So, yeah, there are kits out there for other boards, of unmade boards. Yeah, no, I don't care if I do 1 or 10. Like, doing 10 is 10 times more work than doing 1 kit. Like, the nature of kits is not, you don't save time by doing more kits. They just take that much longer. The issue is the components I'm using, right? If you can't read what the value is on the part, I can't kit it. Well, I can't kit it easily. So again, you know, are you going to pay $100 for a TinyPICO kit? Because that's how long it will take me to kit it up compared to making one. You place all the components on some dummy board that you gently reflow. The builder desolders the components and transfers the parts. Yeah, okay. Catch you later, Aaron. Happy New Year to you too, mate. I do. I have ironed out most of the production issues. Got a few more to sort out, though. Yeah, providing support for kits when they don't work when people assemble them. Because they destroyed the components trying to do it. Yeah. I'll get a hackerspace to actually kit up the parts. But yeah, no. Sorry, I'm not making kits of my boards. I'm not making a kit of that. That is just ridiculous. So, if you want to, like, you can get the board files, make your own PCBs, like they're on GitHub, and make your own. Like that. There you go. Like, why do you need a kit from me? If you want to put one of them together, make some PCBs, go buy the parts, and put one together. No problem. But I'm not sitting there making kits, or I'm not outsourcing making kits. Kits suck. Yeah, I don't think a TinyPICO is a good learning project for people having to learn how to do surface mount stuff. Yeah, wrong type of product, I think. I mean, my Whopper is a better. My Whopper is a project that people can learn how to do SMD soldering on, because it's got large components, and they can be hand soldered, or they can be pasted. You know, I've got kits. I'm just not doing TinyPICO kits. Just bag it using P&P. You're going to measure 0402 components. You're going to lose 90% of them trying to do it. But yeah, anyway. So, Rich, not something I'm doing. If you want, like, just go, like, the board files are there. Like, go make a PCB yourself. Like, JLC PCB, get some boards made. You know, get 5 boards made, and then make a TinyPICO if you want to learn how to make a TinyPICO. You don't need me to kit it for you to do it. But it's not something I'm doing. I don't have enough time to do what I want to do right now, or all the other projects I want to do. Was it really, Frank? That's awesome. I didn't know that. Yeah, little SMT tweezers trying to grab 0402 components. Okay, let's wrap this up. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you all for joining me on the stream today. I hope you all have a fantastic and safe New Year's Eve. Don't go too crazy considering what's going on. And hopefully, eventually, 2021 will kick ass. Probably not at the start of 2021. But, yeah. Happy New Year. It's been a crap year. No doubt. But it's on the upward, so that's good. Stay safe, everyone, and I look forward to ruining stuff for you on stream next year. Bye, everyone. Take care.